Hello, everyone, and welcome to the FPL Manual podcast show with your host, the FPL Manual. My name is Adewale Adeshina, and yes, I am your favorite guy to go to for anything concerning Champions League, fantasy, updates, news, and whatever you need to know ahead of the following game weeks. And we have Matchday 6 ahead of us. However, in Matchday 5, we saw some thrilling action with Liverpool staying on top of the table now with a 2-0 victory against Real Madrid. Atalanta won Young Boys 6-1, Leverkusen won 5-0 against Salzburg. Benfica had to do a comeback against Monaco in the 3-2 victory. Same thing for PSV, who also had like a 3-goal scored in like 5 minutes or so towards the end of the game, and they won their own fixture at home. So there are thrilling results that have happened. Man City leading 3-0 and just getting a draw at the end. For some reason, slipping up that 3-0 lead to Feyenoord, and a lot of exciting results, especially in our fantasy teams. But how did your team perform? I don't know how yours did, but mine did quite okay, and I want to talk about that very soon. It is 9:48 on 9th of December here, West Africa time, Nigeria, and I've actually recorded this about 12 hours ago, and my system went dead in the process of recording. I don't know, it was overheating or something, and the battery was quite low. There was no power to charge my system, but we're here again. This is going to be like the third time recording, because second time some noises here and there was affecting my audio, but we are here to do this once and for all. Please, I beckon on you to stay to the end. If you can't stay to the end anyways, I'll be putting timestamps in the video, and for you to quickly skip to the segment you prefer to listen to the most. So God's willing, it will not be more than 20 minutes, and let's get into this. Okay, so normally I always start with the weekend results that happened, but since I've recorded this like 2-3 times, I feel I will need to cut that off this week. However, top results that happened from last weekend, I would just say about 3. Juventus had a 2-2 draw against Bologna. Bologna were leading 2-0, then Vlahovic created an assist for Mambagula, who scored the equalizer, and Copinha scored the other goal for Juventus. Man City had also a 2-2 draw against Crystal Palace. Erling Haaland and Rico Lewis were on the score sheet. Rico Lewis got his second yellow towards the end of the game and got sent off. I think the biggest result from all the games probably is the Real Madrid-Girona game, where Real Madrid won 3-0 against Girona. Mbappe, Andrea Goulet, and Jude Bellingham all got on the score sheet for Real Madrid. I think those are my top 3 results, if I'm not going to read everything out, but I designed like a template. So I'm just calling this out quickly so that we'll move on to other things. Let's look at my Matchday. Getting excited. Let's look at my Matchday 5 team. Let's see the results for Matchday 5. So last week I took a -4, and that was for Lamine Yamal, that was unavailable due to injury updates that came later, and I got 103 points. Why? For some reason my team is not loading. Internet, please. Don't do this to me now. Okay, I got 103 points. I don't know, it's not loading. My captain was Besbiani on the second day, and he got a goal and a clean sheet. I mean, he has not even scored in Champions League since 2020, and that was even when he was in like Borussia Mönchengladbach, and he got on the score sheet and giving me 103 points. I don't know, internet is not being fair to me right now, but I wanted to like load my team. This is why I can't stream. My internet always messes me up, and hopefully I don't know, I'll find time to stream today. So I got 103 points, and my team is not loading properly. I'm not sure why for the internet, so I'm just going to leave it alone for now. I'll talk about other things. So yeah, that's why my team performed last week. Let me disconnect the internet. So that's how my team performed last week. Anyways, what do we have in store for Matchday 6? What questions do we have in store for Matchday 6? So I've gotten a few questions for Matchday 6. I've gotten a few questions. However, let's start with the league standings in the Champions League. So in the Champions League, this is what the Champions League table looks like. We have Liverpool on top of the table with 5 out of 5 wins, 15 points, only consider 1 goal, 12 goals scored. Inter Milan following them closely with 13 points, 4 wins, 1 draw, 0 defeats, 0 goals conceded. Barcelona leading with 18 goals scored. However, they are just third place with 4 wins and 1 defeat. Same thing with Dortmund, who are also on 12 points. Atalanta, a point behind both teams. Leverkusen, Arsenal, and Monaco all on 10 points with 3 wins, 1 draw, and 1 defeat, all making it into the top 8 places. That is how the league standings are. Some important key stats to note for our Champions League encounter. So important stats to note. Please allow me to connect to my internet again. I wrote some stats. I'll try and read them out on my laptop. Yes, we're back. Internet is back. I'll try and read them out. I wrote, yeah. So some important Champions League stats. Top stats to know ahead of from the first 5 game weeks. First of all, PSG has only scored 3 goals, or rather have only scored 3 goals, and their elimination zone, PSG are currently 15th on the table, 25th on the table, and it's looking pretty dire for them in terms of qualifying. They have 3 more games to go, at least if they cannot make the top 8, to stay within the qualification spots of the 9th to 24th place. So that is one stat that is kind of funny anyways, but it's what's going on. RB Leipzig, Slovan Bratislava, and Young Boys are in the bottom 3 with 0 wins. I think the most surprising team here is RB Leipzig. I would have expected them to have gotten at least 3 to 4 points by now, looking at the pedigree they have built over the last decade, and how they have made themselves Champions League regulars. However, seeing them in the bottom team is kind of surprising, and we hope they get into winning ways soon with their home game against Aston Villa next on Tuesday. Yes, to like it this time. Barcelona have scored the most goals, 18, while Inter have yet to concede. That's another key stat. Florian Wirtz have won the Player of the Match award 4 times. Aston Villa, Liverpool, and Atalanta have only considered 1 goal so far in the contest, while Atalanta BC have 11 points. Is more points than Real Madrid and PSG combined. That is 10 points in total, 6 and 4. Liverpool 100% win. I've mentioned it earlier. Inter and Atalanta unbeaten in the league, and this is the table as mentioned earlier. So those are the top stats for the 12 games. So I'm just going to mention that quickly and move on. I had some questions earlier from this week, and I just took a screenshot of some of them. So please, if you don't mind, I'll be sharing some of your questions here and answering them live here on our show. I think one of the questions I got was from FPL Store _ says, thoughts on the value of a wildcard in Matchday 6 versus a wildcard in Matchday 7 based on features and league standings. This is a very, very, very smart question. He's basically comparing Matchday 6 and Matchday 7 fixtures and league standing, features, possible features and current league standings against those weeks, and seeing which is the best time to wildcard. Do you want to wildcard now or wildcard next in the new year? So that's a very cool question. Let's first look at the features. So I have a feature ticker here. I did the rankings earlier in the season, and these are some teams that have some easy games or easy rankings. Please feel free to pause here and look through what I am talking about. So however, these are the best features to target, at least from what I designed earlier for most of the teams here. Some teams are missing anyways, like Lille. I'm supposed to add Lille here. However, they only have a better game for Matchday 6. Matchday 7 is a little bit difficult as they play Liverpool that period. So anywho, let's continue. So Arsenal, Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern, Celtic, Dortmund, Milan, and Stuttgart have some easy games on paper, especially Arsenal. So if I'm going to play my wildcard, for example, as he said, you should compare and contrast Matchday 6 versus Matchday 7. When is the best time to wildcard? I think it's better to wildcard in a Matchday 6 scenario, because you basically taking advantage of teams that have back-to-back home games. For example, Arsenal here have back-to-back home games, one against AS Monaco and one against Dynamo Zagreb. Atletico Madrid has a back-to-back home game, one against Slovan Bratislava and against Leverkusen. They are favorites to win both games as it stands on paper. Barcelona have on paper a 12 game against Dortmund, but we know how Barcelona destroyed Bayern in their home fixture against where Rafinha scored a hat-trick. We know they will do excellent results against Dortmund, who have been shaking defense for most of the season, and then they play SL Benfica. Many of us definitely has have at least 2 Barcelona players, right? If I'm not mistaken, at least you have a Rafinha in your team, or a Kunde, or a Lamine Yamal, or any of the above that I may have mentioned or not mentioned. So if, for example, if you're in a situation where your team is pretty rough, you don't really have many of these players, I think the best time to wildcard is probably now, as against Matchday 7, because if you wildcard in Matchday 7, yes, you're able to target these easy features here from any of these 7 or 6 listed. However, in Matchday 8, for example, let's say Liverpool, I did not add here. Let's say Liverpool have, if I'm not mistaken, Liverpool have a home game against Give me a reason to remember. Liverpool have a home game against they have an away game against Girona now, and they have a home game against Lille. I remembered. Thank you. See my features here. They have a home game against Lille. Liverpool, yes. So Liverpool have some easy games, but we know if Liverpool get 3 points here and 3 points there, they are basically top the table with about 15-3-3, about 21 points. So their top spot is nailed. If obviously they want an easier tie whenever the round of 16 draws are done, but stopping the table is more paramount. Therefore, someone like Mo Salah will definitely not be available for the PSV game. So if you're going to wildcard in Matchday 7 and attack the futures, you are taking a risk that in Matchday 8, teams that have qualified, that you are banking on now, you will end up having lesser players available because of possible rotations. However, teams like Man City may or may not rotate, because Man City are playing Juventus and PSG away, and with the form they are going now, we know they might not easily win those matches. However, we could now probably wildcard them in Game Week 8. So let me not stay too much on the question. So basically, when is the best time to play a wildcard? Is it now or Game Week 7? Based on league standings, we have seen the league standings, we have seen the top teams in the top 8. We have seen who has more chances to win it, and we have seen who has maybe lesser chances to qualify, like PSG and some other teams like RB Leipzig. However, I think it's best to wildcard in Matchday 6 and maybe Matchday 8 instead of Matchday 7, because Matchday 7 is a good time on paper, but you risk missing out on many players in Matchday 8. So it might as well just save your wildcard. If you're not playing it now, save it to Matchday 8, which is on January 29th, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, January 29th, where all matches will play at the same time. So I believe I've answered that question. So next question I got this week was FPL Doggo. Yes, FPL Doggo says, have you seen maybe some feature tickers for the last round? Okay, I think I just unintentionally answered that question. So feature ticker, this is the feature ticker here. Champions League features. I designed one myself earlier in the season, and I think it's still very much relevant based on form and features based on form. So I think the question you indirectly asked here is, which teams do we avoid and which teams do we target? And I've unintentionally also discovered or designed a template for that. So teams to target. So let's look at the easy features to target. So on paper, easy features to target: Tuesday, Girona versus Liverpool. Liverpool, top of the league, 4 points ahead, even with a game in hand. They are fully rested. They are playing early on Tuesday. They will even have enough time to come back and play on the weekend. And Mo Salah is on form of his life, scoring every match, at least in Premier League for the last 4 or 5 games. So we know where to throw our net in. So Liverpool are favorites here. Salzburg, PSG. I'm not really favoring PSG per se, but because of the pedigree they carry in the French Ligue 1, and how they are still yet to get more than 4 points in tournaments, is a little bit bizarre. And Salzburg can also fight for a chance to win, but PSG are favorites here. So if you have a PSG player, you can try bringing in more, or at least hold on to one that you have available. Your Ashraf Hakimi could be very useful for this feature tie. On Wednesday, we have SLB Benfica against Bologna. We have LOSC Lille against Sturm Graz. We have Feyenoord, who has a very nice home feature against AC Sparta Prague, who considered 6 goals in the last game against Atletico Madrid. Milan against Red Star Belgrade, and Atletico Madrid against Slovan Bratislava. So those are like the easy games to target. Games to avoid, I didn't design that, but if I was to avoid any team right now, it's Man City, and just run away from Man City. Just avoid all Man City players. Like, there's no reason to hold on to Haaland. I mean, if it was Haaland of like 2 seasons ago, maybe, but right now, the way Man City is going, they can win the game, don't mind me, please, but the next 2 games are looking very tough on paper for Man City, so I'd rather invest in Liverpool players or Arsenal players. So I'll get to that later, because the thumbnail on this video most likely carry Saliba and probably Atletico Madrid player, like maybe Alvarez, that was, got the double digits last week. So I believe I've answered that question on features, on feature taker of some sort. So please feel free to pause, as I said, pause this and take a look and see on some of the teams here I have highlighted that have easy games. For example, Arsenal have some nice games down to match the 8. Atletico Madrid, same thing here, all green to match the 8. Same thing with Milan, all green at least till even the match the 8 game is basically green at this point. Real Madrid has some nice games to match the 8. I will not consider the Atalanta game an easy game for them, so I will just change this to a red for Real Madrid, just because of, or probably, just give them a red, because Atalanta is not an easy game as it stands right now. Based on form, it is not an easy game. So yes, just take a look through and see all this. Then I think the last question I got here is from this brother. His name is Johnny FCB _FCB. I believe he's a Barca fan. He says, make a wildcard for this week. Okay, your wish is my command, Johnny. So this is a typical wildcard team I designed yesterday while I was recording the first video. So I'll just quickly share. Okay, this is like the second one. This is the first one. So the first one, they all look the same though. Okay. I mean, I don't have time to design another one because of my internet connection, which always fails me for some weird reason. But I'll try and design one. So this is what a potential wildcard team looks like at the moment. If I was going to play my wildcard, I'll try and target more Arsenal players. That's one of the major advice this week. Target more Arsenal players. I'll try and target more Atletico Madrid players because of the decent run of form they have. So if you can't remember, I'll take you back to our feature ticker. So we have Arsenal that play Monaco, Dinamo Zagreb, and Girona for the last 3 games. All easy winnable games if everything goes well and fine for Arsenal. So, and they've only lost 1 so far, if I'm not mistaken, against Inter. So Arsenal have what it takes to stay within the top 8 and qualify. And Atletico Madrid, same thing here. That fortune is turning around. They're in the top 24 now after having a very mixed start where they even had the defeat against Benfica. So now they have Slovenia, Bratislava, they have Leverkusen and Salzburg. All should be winnable on paper, but we don't know how things pan out. So I'll try and target this team. So I've tried to fit in more Arsenal players, but more of their defenders instead of the attackers, because we know Arsenal defense is quite strong. We know we have seen someone like Saliba and Gabriel getting goals from set pieces. Timber also got to go from set pieces. So I'll try and double up on Arsenal defense. In terms of midfield, maybe I'll try and fit in Saka if there was money for Bukayo Saka. But I've not seen where I can fit Saka just yet. But I mean, is like 9 million there, about 9.5. So if there's a way to fit him that will not affect Harry, someone like Salah in your team, then definitely. I'll try and get in at least 1 or 2 Atletico Madrid players. So you can see Julian Alvarez here, you can see Jan Oblak here. And I'll try and get in. I'll still try to stay on to Leverkusen. We saw Grimaldo get like 19 points last time. Yeah, double digits as well as Florian Wirtz. So we know these guys will be among the goals once in a while for Leverkusen. So I try and get in more Leverkusen, even though they have a difficult home game. I'll try and get in at least 1 or 2 of them. If you don't have Wirtz, at least try and get him in your team. And what else? Yeah, so this is basically what my wildcard look like. I think Jonathan David is a good differential. However, he can be. I don't have internet to draft a new one. However, he can be Gyökeres if you prefer Gyökeres. From Sporting CP. I just put Jonathan David there as a placeholder when I was designing this, and he can act as a very good pick to have for this week against Sturm Graz. However, since you have 2 transfers, you can just bring in then bring in Gyökeres when Gyökeres has some better games in game week 8. For now, Sporting CP games are looking a little bit harder on paper, especially now that their manager Ruben Amorim left to Real Madrid, Manchester United, sorry. And it's a little bit tough for Sporting CP because they're not be getting wins. And, an away game against Club Brugge and another away game against RB Leipzig. This should be a little bit easier though. So I'll change this to another color. And I think it's only home game against Bologna that seems befitting. So probably Jonathan David is a better option to get in this week. So my internet is very bad. I'm so sorry. I really apologize. I plan on streaming actually though, because I mentioned last time that in the month of December I'll be streaming more. So let's see. I don't know. I'll find a way to do it. Maybe ahead of tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. So this is what a potential workout look like. Maybe double AC Milan defense. AC Milan have some nice games. So Atletico Madrid, AC Milan, and Arsenal are the teams I'll be targeting. Liverpool as well because of their form. They're top of the table and they are doing excellently well. They have some easy games coming. So those are the teams I'll be targeting if I'm playing my wildcard. Also fitting some Barcelona's attackers, Adina Lukman or Retegi of Atalanta, and I think you'll be fine. You'll be fine. You definitely get 100 points another week. And so this is what a potential wildcard team looks like for me. Okay, so my internet is poor. I don't know why it's poor. But let me try and refresh this page. Let me see if it's going to get better. So my internet is poor, but if I'm not mistaken, I have I'll just talk about my projected moves, prospective moves ahead of Matchday, what is it now? Matchday 6, and we'll call it quits for now. My internet is quite slow, but let me see if I can get a screenshot of my team somewhere. I have not even spoken about injury updates. I don't think there's still time for that, so I'll post about that later after I've spoken about injury updates. So I wish my first video didn't break up or scatter, but anyways, there's no need to wish about it. So anyways, my final tip is not showing, but I'll just give you guys a picture of what it looks like. So basically it looks like this, just that here where Alvarez is where Harry Kane is, and where this guy is where Vlahovic is, then where this guy is where Martinelli is, and some other players that in defense. So my prospective move this week is one, I would love to get in this player, Mo Salah, definitely, because he was not available. I don't have Salah in my team for a while. I think I was pretty lucky not to have him last week because of, he missed the penalty against Real Madrid and all of that. But definitely get Salah this week. The question mark I have right now on the player to get or not get is this guy, Jonathan David. I've been mentioning his name severally. And he's on pretty goddamn good form. Under the radar, 7.2 million. He's my differential of the week. He's the forward, obviously, on penalties for Lille. Lille have they just got their third Champions League win last time out. And a win for them against Stuttgart will be so much important for them going forward. So, 4 goals, 1 assist in the last 2 games for Lille. 11 goals scored in Ligue 1. Top goal scorer as it stands, 0.9 goal per 90, 0.41 non-penalty expected goals, 3% ownership. Next game against Stuttgart, you just have to bargain on him now. Now, most often than not, I always advise to get in one of these players, but I end up not doing it. I remember when I advised for Guirassy, I didn't end up bringing Guirassy. I remember when I advised for this Stuttgart striker, I can't remember his name now, Undav, I didn't get him. So I'm trying to see if I can fit in Jonathan David. So I think the final decision for me among my 2 transfer will be, do I go Jonathan David or do I go the other guy? That's Julian Alvarez. That's the big question, because Atletico Madrid are playing a team that's from the Slovakia league that has considered 18 goals in just 5 games. So I think that's a big question. So for me, my team, my network has technically just thrown me under the bus today. And it's well. Anyway, this is what my team looks like. Okay, it's finally showed up. So this is what my team looks like. So as I mentioned, I just have 2 projected moves to make. Just trying to reel out my team quickly and try to get. His internet is bad. It's very bad. So is either Salah, most likely Salah for Martinelli, yes. Salah for Martinelli. Then in front, I'm going to get either Alvarez or Jonathan David. That's going to be like a late decision. So stick around to see if we do a live stream. So, but I think Alvarez is a better option for that game. So, anywho, this is what my team looks like at the moment. And thank you for joining. I don't know if I'm going to take a -4 because there's an issue with Gabriel. According to the last update I saw from Arsenal, Gabriel was unavailable. Arteta made 2 changes to the last game against Fulham where they got a draw. Zinchenko was out. Martinelli did not start. He was on the bench. And Gabriel, Ricardo Calafiori were absent due to injury. So I have an injury concern in defense. I want to have an Arsenal defender. So it would be nice to see Gabriel come back to the team. But if he doesn't come back, I mean, I don't think I need to take a hit for a defender. Not so soon. I'm looking at the dates that they play. I have about 1, 2, 3, 4 players, 4, 5 players that play on Tuesday. Then I have the many rest of my team, about 10 of them that play on what's the other day now? On Wednesday. So the issue now is I know Biesbani is playing Barcelona. I love him. He was one that gave me 16 points last time out and he captained Hall. So I can't take out Biesbani. I trust him enough now. Rico Lewis, Man City defense is a little bit rough right now. So I'm not sure I'm going to start these 2. So I like to have 3 defenders that are available at least for the whole game week, right? So fingers crossed I don't take a -4 to take out Gabriel and bring in a Saliba. But this is what my team looks like at the moment. So I'm holding on to the opportunity that Gabriel is available for another midweek sensation when they host AS Monaco from the French League. So that's all for now. I promised not more than 20 minutes, definitely close 20 minutes at this point. If you have any questions, you can see I treated some questions live on the show here. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll be there to answer them on Twitter. Most of you guys that mentioned that directly message me on my DMs, you know that I reply to you guys. So try and just send a message directly. Send it to my notifications. I may or may not see it. So please don't be angry if I did not see your message. This audio will be posted on all our podcast platforms, including Spotify. So thank you for tuning in. Also, please, I've not been saying this enough. Like, share, and subscribe. Your engagement on the video makes it possible for other audience to see my work and see what I do and what I share. And most of you love what I do, right? So you might as well just engage. For the whole month of December, I'll be pushing out a lot of football content. I think I resigned from my recent work as an accountant, even though I'm looking for like a new place of work. At the moment, I'm full-time writing on football, full-time writing on other sports, and also doing this for you guys. So stay tuned for more content. The next time you see my face, it should be for Matchday 7 in the new year. So have a fantastic 2024 in case we don't see after now. And your arrows be green. Bye for now.